Good day everyone, welcome to Yogi Bud's 30-day yoga challenge.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I
This is the first day of our inversion flow. So in this practice, we'll be using props like this one, strap, and chair. If you have a bench like this one, you just have to place it near the mat, and then a wall. So we'll be using the wall. So for today's practice, we'll be doing the shoulder stand. We'll be doing lots of variations of the shoulder stand. And remember that inversions are not for everyone, especially if you have neck problems, if you are high blood, or you have issues with your eyes like glaucoma. And for the ladies, if you have your monthly period, then you're not allowed to do inversions. Well, even if you have those concerns right now, you can still do yoga, but no inversions. You can just do the preparatory flow that we'll be doing right now and just avoid the inversion part. So we will also stretch the hip muscles because we'll be doing a version of the shoulder stand wherein we will bind the legs. We'll be doing a lotus position. So if you're ready, just go to the center of your mat, you sit. By the way, you take your strap. If you don't have any strap, then maybe a towel or belt or any kind of rope. So just cross the legs, sit straight and upright, then bring the arms upward, inhale, then exhale, lean to the left side, bend your elbow and extend your right hand up. Just feel a nice and easy stretch on the side. Coming up, inhale, then exhale, go down to the left and extend your right arm close to your head until you feel the hip. Inhale again, back to the center, arms up. On the exhale, hands forward and cross your right arm over the left. Again, take your palms together, lift the elbows. As you do this one, you're squeezing your chest and you feel the scapula or shoulder blades moving apart. So chin to your neck. Inhale. On your exhale, you bend forward. See if you can take the forearms down. And keep your spine low. Flexing through your hip, inner thighs. And keep your belly relaxed. You pull yourself up, then unravel the arms, switch. So take the left over right, lift the elbows, flex your chest, chin toward your neck. So feeling the expansion of your back. Then on your exhale, you bend forward, again, forearms on the floor. Just let the head fall. And then bring your chest up. As you exhale, release your arms and then take your strap or towel and hold it behind your hip and as wide as your shoulders, or have your hands as wide as your shoulders. Roll your arm bones outward and squeeze your shoulder blades together, opening your chest. You breathe in and breathe out. You fold forward, pushing the arms as high as you can. Maybe the head can go down the floor. So continue squeezing in your shoulders. And then you lift your chest up. Now for a moment, just set aside the strap. Walk your hands forward to the top and bring the knees at the middle of your mat below your hip. From here, you extend your right leg up, then the left hand forward. On your exhale, navel in, round the spine. Bring it up again. Inhale, arch the back. Continue pressing down through the right palm. Exhale, elbow towards your knee. Last one, inhale. And exhale. So from here, you extend the leg and the arm away from the hip, bending the leg. And see if you can hold the foot, pull it up. So opening your right hip, the front side, also the left chest. And then exhale, release. Again, inhale, you extend the leg. On the exhale, knee forward to your right upper arm. Then bring the foot forward outside your hand, readjust the left knee backwards, sink the hip. Look forward. So from here, move your elbows down. Continue extending the spine as you lower the forearms on the floor. And just notice the stretch going through the left thigh and the right hip. Now take your palms on the floor so you can use your towel or strap on this next pose. You bring the right shoulder below the thigh, move your hand underneath and behind the hip with your palm facing up. So you can use your strap here and hold it with the other arm. If you can bring the other arm behind you and have your fingers together, then no need for the strap. So you can just stay here, or you can lift the left leg to put more action on your hip muscles and legs. Now you release your hands on the floor. From here, step your right leg backward to your down dog. Now you move forward to your plank, then go down to your low plank. You breathe in and lift the chest. So arch the spine, pressing the shins and the feet down. And breathe out, you go to your down dog. Now have your knees on the floor. Again, back to your all fours. Then extend your right hand forward, the left leg upward and back. Exhale around the spine, knee and the elbow together. Bring the arm up, forward and up. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale for the last set. Breathe out, navel in. So you can extend your limbs away from the hip, then move your hand backward, fold the leg, and see if you can hold your foot. Now bring the leg as high as you can, pushing your hand, or pushing the floor with the left hand. Extending the neck, and try to breathe. Now you release the leg, take your palm on the floor, and then bring the knee forward. Place it on the outer edge of your left mat, or left corner of the mat. Sink the hip and push it forward. Now you can place the forearms on the floor. Continue extending the spine forward. Again, continue breathing in and breathing out, long and slow. And then from here, have your palms on the floor. Again, bring the left shoulder underneath the hip. Bring the arm behind, or the palm behind your hip. Right hand will go behind the hip, and see if you can hold your fingers together. This is the easiest option you can do, or you can lift the right leg up to challenge your hip muscles more. So your choice. Now you take your hands back to the floor, bring the left leg backward to your down dog. So flexing your hip, extending the spine, then go forward to your plank. Align your shoulders over your wrist, bending the elbows 90 degrees, and then go to your up dog. Sink your hip, lift the chest, and bend backward. On your exhale, go back to your down dog. Pull your hip bone up and back. Press the heels down and pull your shoulders away from your wrist. Look forward and step to the top of the mat. Inhale, hands on your shins, elongate the back body. Exhale, flex the hip, move your head to the floor. Inhale, you lift the chest, pressing the feet down as you extend your arms upward. Then exhale, hands down to your sides. Now you set your feet as wide as your mat, or just wide enough for the shoulders and for the top torso to go in between the legs. You go down and bring the chest between the thighs and extend your arms forward. Keep the spine parallel to the floor. So again, you align the knees and the hip, the knees and the foot. So from here, you take your right hand on the floor, twist to the left and turn your the left arm bone behind your hip, and see if you can grab hold of the inner right thigh. So squeezing your shoulders, opening your chest. You look down, take your left hand on the floor, so keep the legs and the hips strong. Right hand goes up, roll the arm bone outward, or behind the hip, and see if you can grab hold of the inner left thigh. So squeeze your shoulders, look upward, and then take your hands again on the floor. Step your feet backward to your plank. Keeping your core muscles strong, you go down to half plank, going up to your up dog, and return to a down dog. So stay on the down dog for 3 breaths. And then step your right foot forward. Take the left knee down on the floor. Pushing the hip, you come up and extend your arms upward over the head. So from here you bend sideways to the right to open your, stretch your left hip, the left side of the hip. And then release back to the center. And then cross your left arm over your right. And then push your right leg to straighten the hip. So you can point your foot or flex. So your choice. You tuck your back foot, inhale. Then exhale, you bend forward and see if you can bring the elbows down on the floor. Or you can just bend parallel to the mat, making the spine long. And then coming up, you lift the chest, rebend your right leg, release the arms over the head. And then from here, take your hands down on the floor. Walk your right foot towards the left, going down to pigeon pose to further stretch your hip muscles. So again, remember you can pull your foot forward away from the hip if you're more flexible. If not, then you do the opposite. Bring it closer to the thigh. Lifting your chest, sinking the hip. And then you cross your left hand in front of your right, and your fingers are pointing towards the opposite direction. So walk your hands apart. So this will stretch your shoulders, your deltoids. So chin to your chest and allow the back body to expand. Again, breathe here. And then release. Have your palms again on the floor, lifting the chest up. And then you swing that left leg forward. So bring the right leg to your chest, then place the foot over the left thigh. You adjust your seat bones backward. So on this pose, again, you can use your strap. You strap the foot, then hold the strap with your right hand wrapped around the back. But for some, maybe you can reach the foot without using anything. So left hand up, inhale. On your exhale, bend forward. Then readjust your seat bones backward to give way for the hip bone to roll forward, so that you can bend lower without stressing the back body. So continue extending the spine forward, flexing the hip muscles, or the flexor muscles, hip flexor muscles. For some, you can bring the head down to your shin. And then lifting the chest, you let go of the strap, and then just bring the foot, the right foot, an inch or two above the knee joint, hands behind you, lifting the chest, and then bend your right leg close to your chest, and see if you can move your torso and the legs closer. So the more you move upright, the more you can feel the right hip. And then from here, you walk the left foot towards the right corner of the mat, and then see if you can drop your right knee over the left heel. So you align the left foot and the right knee, the right foot and the left knee. Or simply put your shin bones on top, make the shin bones parallel. From here, you adjust your shin bones again up, backward. And if your knees really high, meaning you have tight hips, super tight hips, so you don't need to bend forward, you just have to stay here on this pose and try to flex the glutes until the knees connect to your heels. But if your knees close to your heels or touching the heels, then for you to deepen the stretch, you have to bend forward. So straight back, you bend forward, so hinge here from the hip joint, and then you can walk your hands forward. So breath by breath and inch by inch, continue extending your reach, going closer to the floor, and just stop when you feel too much. And then walk your hands backward, lift the chest, and then you swing your right leg backward, palms on the floor, and swing that left leg next to your right on a plank. Going down and then coming back up to your up dog. Breathe out, return to your down dog. So again, inhale and exhale for a few more times. Next, you step the left foot forward, right knee down on the floor. Then point your foot, after you square your hip, you extend your arms over the head. Now inhale, stretch upward. On the exhale, lean towards the left side to open your right side body. Continue bending without leaning forward. Now return to the center, cross your right arm over the left. Then curl your right foot as you pull the hip backward. So you can flex or point your toe. If you flex your foot, then you will feel more stretch on your calf muscle. If you point, you can feel the ankle. So inhale, flat back. Exhale, you can bend halfway or go all the way down. So it depends on the flexibility of your hamstring. Again, fold as deep and as far as the body could comfortably allow. So coming up, bending that left leg, releasing the arms over the head, and then set your palms down on the floor. So from here, you take your left foot towards the right. Drop your hip down. Then turn your right hip bone or the right thigh bone down and forward. Walk your hands beside the hip. Lift your chest. So keep lifting your chest, broadening your front body. And then now cross your right arm over the left, then walk your hands outward. So elbows down, chest down. And just let your head rest on your arms. So breathe through the back body. So observe how the back is expanding every exhale or every inhale. And every exhale, just relax or let go of any control on your body. You just let everything go. And then slowly release, coming up to the center. And then you swing your right leg forward. Then bend that left leg, hug your knee to your chest. Then take your foot so close to your hip. As you do that, you readjust the hip bone backward. And again, you take your towel or strap, or you can just take the foot with your left hand. So extend your arm out, turn your arm beside or behind your hip. And then extend your right arm forward. On the inhale, you adjust the hip and lengthen the spine. And exhale, you can bend. So continue moving your hip every time you go lower, or every time the pose becomes uncomfortable, you have to change your position. Now you release, lift the chest, and then you take your foot just over the knee joint, hands backward and bend the legs, push your chest upward. So the more you stay upright, the more you can feel the left hip. And then walk your right foot towards the left side, and again you align your shin bones, the knee and your foot. If your knee is high, don't bend forward, just lean back. If your knee is close to your foot, then it's time for you to deepen the stretch of your hip. Straight back, inhale, then exhale, you lean forward. And again, do it slowly. Do it with maximum length of the spine. And do it with your breath. Inhale, you lengthen. Push the chest forward. Exhale, you lean as low as you can. Might want to move side to side slowly as you go lower. Okay, that might give you more additional stretch. Okay, now coming up, lifting the chest, then bring that left leg out and back, followed by your right. So again, stabilize your core muscles, then go down to half plank, pushing your chest up, and then exhale, return to your down dog. Now take your knees on the floor and just sit for a moment on your heels. Now you extend your legs forward. So pull your hips or the sit bones backward, flex your feet, and then extend the arms upright. Flex through your hip crease and fold forward, reaching the toes. Moving your head lower if you can, or if that's available for the back. If not, then stop. Now you lift your chest, straighten your back, and then take your palms backward, behind your hips, and your fingers are pointing outward a little bit. You externally rotate your arm bones, squeezing your shoulder blades in. You fold the legs, hip distance, and close to your hip. Push the hip up, and squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thigh, biceps, your back, and shoulders. So keep your chin to your chest. But if you're okay dropping the head backward, no tension on the neck, then you can do this one. And then lower the hip. You extend the legs forward. And then slowly lie down. Now bring the feet close to your hips. Again, toes are pointing forward and as wide as the hip. Pressing down through your feet, lifting the hip as high as you can. And from here you move your elbows or the arm bones in and take your palms underneath the hip. So squeeze your shoulders. So here you have to feel the stretch of your neck and your shoulders. If it's too much then, you just have to lower the hip. Continue pressing the feet to lift the hip up as high as you can. And don't move the head as you stay here. Now release the hip. So if you cannot do the shoulder stand, you can just stay here on the bridge pose. And others, let's try to do the shoulder stand on the wall first. So bring the hip against the wall. Actually, this is the easiest inversion you can do. Leg raise or Viparita Karate, wherein you just have to lift the legs up over the wall and stay for maybe 10 breaths. Now from here you have your feet, take your feet hip width apart, and then push the hip as high as you can. And your aim is to level your hip over your shoulders without hurting the neck. If the neck is painful, meaning that's too much, so you have to stop, you have to back off a little bit. So as you push the hip, you take your hands, the palms against the glutes. You squeeze again your shoulders inward like what you did with the bridge pose and push the hip up. So as you lift the hip, you can stay here or you can extend one leg up. So your choice. So stay for 10 breaths. So after 10 breaths, you release for a moment. Now for those of you, if from here you can lift both legs up, then feel free to do that. For me, I cannot do that due to some tightness on my shoulders. I cannot keep the legs up off the wall. I need something to support my hips, so we'll be using the chair for the next variation. So in case you cannot do the shoulder stand without help from the wall or chair. So we'll take the chair and use it to support our hip. Actually, don't need the chair if you're okay with your shoulder stand. Okay, this is only an option for those who cannot do the pose on their own, or if you have limitations on your shoulders like me. So just take the chair against the wall so that it has something to stabilize it. It will not slide away from you. So you again take your hip close to the chair, and what we'll do is to place the hip on the edge of the chair and just let it support the hip. So pull the hip or move the hip up. So once you have your hip, you can again support with your hands, the back with your hands, or you can just hold the edge of the chair And here you can have your shoulder stand. You raise the legs up. So you just have to firm the legs and look at the tip of your toes. And just stay here for 10 breaths. So for me, I always use the chair every time I do this pose, this asana. And then release. So you move away from the chair by walking or sliding your shoulders backward. And you can just have your legs this way just to release the back. And we'll do one more variation of the shoulder stand. We'll be doing it with the lotus position. So after this variation, we'll be doing the counter stretch, which is the fish pose. So shoulder stand and fish should always go together. So when you're ready, you again go to your shoulder stand or use the chair to lift you up. So from here, if you're stable on your hip, you bend your leg. So bend one leg at a time. So place it on a half lotus. Take the other foot and move it on a full lotus. So you push the knee upward. So the goal here is to make the back and the legs vertical. So squeeze your glutes and point the knee upward. But I have super tight hips, so I cannot do that. So for others, you can try doing that. So 5 to 10 breaths. Now after you take your hands on your knees and try to support your knees with your arms, and you just have to stand on your shoulders. And then slowly release the lotus position. Again, slide your legs or your shoulders away from the hip. So just rest here for a moment, and we will be doing the last position, not last, the counter pose. So if you cannot do lotus pose, you can just keep your legs straight. So legs are straight, ribs, elbows beside the ribs, and push your chest up. Look backward and extend your chin away from your chest and stay here. Or if you can do the lotus, have your lotus pose and then lift your chest, look backward and have the toes with your fingers. So continue pushing your ribs up, flexing your mid-spine or the muscles between your shoulders. And then release. You extend the legs now and readjust the body. Relaxed here for a moment. Again, slow down your breath. Take a long and deep inhale. Long and slow exhale. Now take your knees toward your chest and hug the thigh bones down to release the back. So figure for the right leg. Hug the left leg down to your chest. So again, ground your shoulders and create length on the neck. Now you straighten the left leg forward, bend your right leg down, and then take the leg down to your left side. Roll the hip, roll on the side of the hip, and extend your right hand to your right. So relax your hips, your shoulders, and just breathe normally. Now release, hug your knee back to your chest and extend it forward. Again, bend both knees toward your belly. Figure 4, your left leg and bend your right leg down to your chest. Pulling your thighs, pressing the spine against the floor. Now extend your right leg forward and bend the left leg. Roll on the side of your hip and bring the knee down on your right. And extend the left hand down on the left. Now release. Hug both knees to your chest. And then again, hold the edges of your feet or the big toes. Pull the thighs and roll side to side slowly. Now release your feet, extend the legs forward. Drop your hands beside the hip and let us do the final pose, Savasana. Again, completely relax the body. Try your best to lessen your thoughts or clear the mind. Observe the flow of your breath. Feel it moving within the body. Now remain still and take a rest. Now begin to move your toes and fingers. Reach the arms over the head. Bend your knees and roll to your right. And slowly come up and sit. So thank you everyone for tuning in today's practice. I hope you enjoyed this type of class. So hopefully to see you again next time. Namaste.